you go.
Aw, you did avocado!
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Eat up.
Today, we're going to Saguaro National Park to hike the Gould Mine Trail. There should be some abandoned mines on it, which is really cool. Unfortunately, this trail doesn't allow dogs, so Sweetie gets to stay home.
Yeah, we really wanted to bring Sweetie along with us, but like Jenny said, can't have dogs on this trail. But we think there's another trail around that we're planning on going on that we can bring Sweetie on. So as long as the trail we go on today doesn't look like it's too hazardous for dogs, like there's, you know, pointy things that can stick in her paws all over the place, then we're gonna take her on our next hike. But if there is a lot of pointy things, then we're gonna leave her at home for her own safety. She likes to just roam off the trails and just kind of go a little crazy, and that would be bad.
She basically acts like a puppy and has no idea to stay away from prickly things.
Yeah. I replaced our propane regulator too. That was definitely the issue. The old regulator was definitely leaking and had failed. I thought it would be a pretty straightforward process. I thought I would just remove the lines leading to the regulator and then put those lines on the new regulator and everything would be great. Unscrewing the pigtails leading from the tanks to the old regulator wasn't so bad, but once I tried to unscrew the supply line from the regulator that leads to the rest of the RV's propane system, it was just completely locked in, and I had to actually end up cutting the old regulator off of that supply line. So I just basically took a hand hacksaw and sawed down until I got to just before I got to the threads of the supply line, and I just stuck a screwdriver into that that cut and just pried it open and pried it off the threads. I tried so hard to get that off by conventional means, but had to end up cutting it off. And then I just basically threaded the supply line and the pigtails leading to the propane tanks back into the new regulator, and I used pipe dope for the pigtail threads and thread tape for the supply line, and that was it. It's pretty straightforward except for having to cut the old regulator off. But it works great now, no more leaks. That was definitely the issue.
Same with the fridge. The fridge is fixed too.
Yeah, the fridge is acting normal too, so that regulator was causing the fridge to act funny on LP.
We're gonna get going now because it's like 10:30 and it's a 4.2 mile round trip is the portion we're gonna do, so we need to get going.
Yeah, that might not sound like a lot for some of you hikers out there, but for us it is.
Yeah.
We love going on hikes like this, and I wish we could do it more often, and hopefully we do it more often with more that doo-doo. Doo-doo.
You're so immature.
Hey, you're laughing too. Hopefully we do go on more hikes while we're out in the west where there's just so much open land. But let's get to it. Gotta get my sunscreen on so I don't burn in this desert sun. You putting sunscreen on, Jenny?
You're putting sunscreen on for me.
I'm doing it. Why aren't you putting sunscreen on me then?
Because I need it on my back.
Oh, okay. I can't even see. Did I rub it in all the way?
No. You have a whole bunch all over your face.
Alright.
That's better.
Taking first pack duty?
Yep. It's not heavy.
What we got in there? We got some goodies in there?
Maybe.
Yeah?
Maybe not. Probably.
Lunch for later? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm already hungry.
Yeah, me too. The breakfast was good, but
it's already been like an hour.
A couple hours,
2
yeah.
hours? Something like that.
I'm ready for lunch. Well, that's something to look forward to when we get up there.
Yep. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. fluffy that cactus is. I'm sure it's not actually fluffy. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's very prickly.
Yeah, something tells me fluffy isn't the word to use.
It looks fluffy.
It does look fluffy.
Probably why the dog shoved her face in one.
Oh my gosh. That's why she's not on this hike, even if she could have come.
Yeah. So, you know, David and I are just kind of hiking along in this old riverbed, and we think to ourselves, I feel like we're not in the right place. So we pull up our GPS location, and it zooms in enough that we can see where the actual trails are we're supposed to be hiking on, and we're not on either of them. We're in an old riverbed. But this riverbed follows the trail we were gonna come back on.
Yeah, we're sort of on the right trail. We're doing it backwards.
Yeah.
From how we wanted to. So we're supposed to be ending the trail this way, but instead we're beginning it. It's a loop trail, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just the ranger we talked to said, he even mentioned that you can go this way, but it's more difficult to do the loop trail backwards than it is to do it the right way, so.
Oh well, we're already over a half-mile in and we're not turning back.
Yeah, not turning back.
Coming in here, we encountered a park ranger, and he told us that in the section of the trail that we're on right now, the end of the gold mine trail, or the Gould Mine Trail, which is the beginning for us because we're going backwards, is he told us to keep an eye out for petroglyphs on the cliff faces. So we've been watching them really closely, and we finally encountered some, and they're just all over the place. It's really neat.
So many.
Yeah, I have no idea how old they are, but supposedly these are markings by just ancient Native Americans, and
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty neat. It's not marked at all, but it looks really old, and it's got a couple doors that used to seal it off, but the one behind us is just blasted open. I don't know, someone apparently really wanted it in there, yeah, so, but it's pretty cool. It's an old something or other.
This is an old mine. That's all I know. It's an old mine. They have it covered, and you can smell the sulfur coming out, the sulfur smell. And they have some old rotten wood down here. And the whole side of this hill is all the stuff that they discarded when they were mining, I guess.
The slag and the tailings.
Slag and tailings, there we go. And from here, you can see another mine up there, just basically from the slag. And then there's one down there with a sign, so I think that's gold mine. But I don't know what this one is.
Yeah, there are mines all over this area.
Yeah.
Copper mines, I believe?
Yes, copper mines.
So this is the saguaro cactus behind us, and is the namesake for Saguaro National Park. We've actually been saying it wrong this whole time till the park ranger that we encountered when we got here corrected us. We were saying saguaro. These cacti are the reason, my understanding that this national park exists is to preserve these. They are the symbol of the American Southwest. Whenever you see one of these, you think Arizona, and they're beautiful and they're everywhere. They're crazy too because some of them just go straight up. Other ones look like the typical saguaro that everyone thinks of. And then others are just all over the place where they've got the arms growing in crazy angles. They just have a little bulb on top. They're really neat and they're just everywhere here.
made it to our destination where we wanted to get to before we set up and had a picnic. It's right on the ridge line of the mountain range in here, and it's awesome. We got full panoramic views on both sides of the mountain range, and it's really cool. Definitely worth the hike. But now we're gonna set up our picnic, and we get to eat because we're both starving and we're both really thirsty. So we get to drink some water too.
I also have a surprise for David.
Ooh, a surprise for me. What's that?
The surprise food I packed.
Well, I'm excited. This right here is exactly why we decided to RV full time. Just experiences like this, beautiful hikes in nature, experiencing the national forests and the national parks, this was the main reason. It's just, you don't get anything like this back in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So to be able to be here and to hike this it's just why we did it, and it's awesome.
Is it awesome even though I forgot bread?
Yeah. Yeah, Jenny forgot the bread for our lunch. We were supposed to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but no bread. But I like peanut butter by itself anyway, so I was okay. And the surprise, by the way, was cucumbers, sliced cucumber. And those were delicious and an awesome snack for a hike like this because they're just refreshing. This has been a good hike, and now it's time for us to turn around and head back.
Another, what, 2.5 miles?
I have no idea. 2.5 miles, I think. But it's downhill now.
Yeah.
It's all downhill. So it'll be a lot easier and a lot quicker.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. We finally made it back to, ew, your back's sweaty.
Yeah, yes it is.
I'm not gonna touch your back. I'll touch your shoulder.
Okay, that works.
We made it back to the parking area for the trailhead, and the truck's still there.
It's a good thing. It's always good.
Yeah. We hiked a total of 4.4 miles. We started on the Kings Canyon Trail, and we went off of the Kings Canyon Trail, which was 0.9 miles. We went off of the King Canyons Trail to an intersection of the Gold Mine and Sendero Esperanza Trail. That was 0.4 miles to get to that intersection, and then we stayed on the Sendero Esperanza Trail for 1 mile to get to an intersection which was right on the ridge. And we had our picnic there, and we thought about hiking to Wasson Peak.
We fantasized about hiking to Wasson Peak because, yeah, that would have been really cool. Going all the way to Wasson Peak. It's the highest mountain in the area, and that would have been beautiful.
Yeah.
But it was another 2.2 miles in and 2.2 miles back to where we picnicked. And that would have doubled our hiking distance. Yeah. And we just didn't have it in us.
No, not at all. But once we were done picnicking, we hiked the mile back to that intersection and 1.1 miles to this parking area on the Gold Mine Trail.
On the other side of the loop trail.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a great hike, beautiful hike. I've never gone on any hike like this.
in this type of
environment.
In this type of environment, it's absolutely beautiful. Highly recommend Saguaro National Park to anyone that enjoys hiking, enjoys the desert. It's great, but definitely come in the winter because that sun, even now, we're in the middle of December, and the high is like 68, and that sun was still just
brutal,
blasting on us. So if it was any other time, especially summer, that'd have been rough.
The reason we couldn't find the gold mine trail from the parking area is because even if you go down into, what was that called? The water something?
The wash?
The wash?
Yeah.
If you go, it starts from the wash. So if you walk down to the wash and just follow the natural trail of the wash, you're never gonna find it.
Yeah, and you'll end up going backwards like we did. There's no signs, nothing marking, go this way for this trail, that way.
Yeah, but once you go down into the wash, you turn left, and there's a little bit of a trail on the right. You follow that up and around, and that is the gold mine trail. But there's not even when you get close to where it starts, is there a sign. You have to like actually already be on the trail, and then there's a sign like 0.1 miles into it. I don't know. Yeah,
and we even saw other people starting the trail and starting it backwards too, and they're just like, well, there's no signage. I mean, how are you supposed to know?
Oh well, it was good.
Yeah, definitely good.
Yeah. Oh, very last thing, by the way. We talked earlier in this video about possibly taking Sweetie on our next hike.
Oh yeah.
And we have decided that's not gonna happen. And we were considering it and just keeping her on leash all times. However, I got stuck really good in my finger when we were rolling up our
picnic blanket.
And it got in there.
It went in deep,
deep. And it was just on the ground, so it got stuck in the blanket. And it's something that we couldn't see. We didn't see any more on the ground. So I'm sure that there are.
Oh yeah.
And
all over the place. Yeah. And we don't want those going into her paws. That would that'd be bad. So
she's already stuck her face in them. I don't want her.
I don't want her to face in a cactus. Oh man, that was rough. Yeah, she on her lips. She had a bunch of stickers, and we got them all out. But poor girl. Yeah, we don't want her paws getting all pin cushioned. So we're gonna no walks for the dog in the desert, unfortunately.
At least in this desert, not here. We are gonna go ahead and call it a night though. We've had a great day hiking and the sun is getting ready to set. It is getting late. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you want more videos from us, go ahead and subscribe because our journey is just beginning. And if you want more details on our hike in the Saguaro National Forest, go ahead and click this link right here in the description below. Catch you guys later.
Bye.